Hello, thank you for picking up the call. I am leaving this message with you because it is something that, came on to me as I am traveling through the city streets. Somebody can't deal with the fact that you've changed. Like you're not the same person that you used to be. And maybe back in the day or not too long ago, you were, a force to be reckoned with. Maybe you were just not a pleasant person. Maybe you weren't toxic. Maybe you just gave people a run for their money. But the thing is, you're elevating and you have elevated and you've done the hard work and you've gone through the tough times. And because you have, people can't seem to forget who you used to be. And I want you to know because sometimes it could just be daunting when you are that way, when you've changed and people can't accept it. And it kind of makes you want to, it makes you feel like, why did I change in the first place if everybody is still stuck on who I used to be? But it's not about them. Like you change to be better for yourself and for the people you encounter on your journey in life going forward. It's not to please anybody. Your change came because circumstances happened and uh, you realized that the path that you were on wasn't the path that you wanted to stay on. And if we were human and we didn't evolve, where would we be? You know, if we're human and we never made changes to promote us striving, then where will we be? You know, and so that's their problem that they're stuck on where you used to be because that means they're stuck at where they used to be. And I know sometimes people, if you have wronged somebody or somebody's used to you being a certain kind of way and you decide to, that the way that you're operating is not good, sometimes if you have hurt people along that path, it's hard for them to recognize you in this place because all they can see is the hurt that was caused. But sometimes it takes two, and then also they have to do the work to release that anger, release that pain. If this is not somebody you're actively seeking to like forgive you for the things that have happened, then I would just say, let time heal them. And if this is a situation where you are seeking to rekindle like a better relationship with this person or, just reestablish yourselves with them, then still let time heal, but also just give them space to do that. And then on top of that, let go and let live. If it's meant for you guys to be back in the space where you once were or for things to become better with you, then it will. It will. But don't put a cap on your growth because they can't realize that you're a different person, And I'm only speaking to people who have changed for the better, not still behaving in toxic energy and then saying they changed because that is going to trigger. But I'm speaking to somebody who has changed. Particularly what I'm seeing is a mother who may have not had the best relationship with their children or a ex situation where you may have desired to be back with this person, but they can't really see you for who they are. Maybe a co-parenting situation where things were bad in the past, but now you just don't want to live in that space anymore. That's okay. It's all fine. It's all okay. Just knowing that you deserve better to be, to treat people better and to be treated better, with yourself. And then on top of that, taking your time and giving yourself what you need and dismissing those who can't see it is not your job. Okay. I also want to reiterate what I also want to say that toxic behavior is not always what we perceive as toxic, where somebody hurts somebody. It could also be you hurting yourself. And I know probably a lot of you are not going to understand that or even get to this point in the message, but hurting yourself or bending over backwards for others and then making that change, there's a thing with that. You know, there's a thing with that. And I may actually break this message down. But like if you were toxic to yourself, if you were not if you were like always people pleasing, if you were always the type to apologize about everything, if you were always the type to like not to like to make time for everybody else but you, if you're that person and you change, people are definitely not gonna like it because they can't walk over you anymore. They can't push themselves onto you anymore. You have set boundaries. And sometimes people can perceive that as toxic. You know, why doesn't this person talk to me anymore? How come when I call this person doesn't pick up? Why is it that they're doing things and I'm not involved anymore? I don't know this person's every move. Sometimes withdrawing your energy also brings forth people just not understanding that you are entitled to do that. You're entitled to take the space that you need and the time that you need to recharge and um to give to you. But if you have been operating out of a space of not doing that, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. And that's totally fine. Again, that's not your business. It's their business. That's something they have to deal with. They're going to have to adjust to the new year. Okay? Um, I may break this word up because I know you guys have your attention spans. Okay? You guys hear a message, especially a message like this. You guys hear a message and it's just like, I can't listen to this whole thing. You know, whether you don't have the time or you get distracted or, you know, you just can't get through it. But sometimes there's gems in the later parts of the messages that I wish you guys would get, but they don't flow out until I deliver the message because I don't know what's going to come out. But I feel it very strongly for somebody where it could be labeled as toxic behavior by somebody else because you withdrew your energy, but the reason you withdrew your energy is because you needed to like really give to you. And the only way you knew how to do that is to like take your time back or, you know, take your access back. And that's okay. But, you know, some people they can't get with that. They feel like they're supposed to have access to you always and all the time. So again, their problem. But I love you guys so much. I hope that you know that. And I appreciate all the love and support that you've been giving. And I love these phone call messages because a lot of times I am moving and like moving around and things will hit me, but I just can't get the message out until I get safe, you know, where I'm staying still. And sometimes that's not the best time to get the message out because it's not going to flow the way it would if I just let it be. So there's that. But I do love you and I hope you have a beautiful day. And I'll talk to you soon. I could have did it.